What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with my Browns Vikings preseason week 2 preview as the Browns look to improve on a not so good performance last week against the Packers as they welcome one of the Packers' rivals in the Minnesota Vikings to Cleveland, Ohio for what should be a very fun week as, of course, the Browns will be hosting the Vikings for two joint practice sessions, of course, on Wednesday and Thursday, and then they play on Saturday. So, before I get into talking about the game itself, I got some other things to talk about. First, of course, you have the big one, Deshaun Watson. Is he going to play this week? Well, according to Daniel Oyafusi, who is, again, one of the Browns beat writers, he says no. As he tweeted this out a couple days ago, and I quote, Browns QB Deshaun Watson won't play in the second preseason game versus the Vikings, so joint practices could be the most extensive action he gets against an opposing team before week 1. Now, as far as next week against the Seahawks goes, Mary Kay Cabot put this out yesterday, and I quote, hashtag Browns Deshaun Watson will play in the final preseason game versus Seahawks, Kevin Stefanski said. Now, my guess is most likely the starters will probably get about a quarter. You don't play your starting quarterback without playing pretty much the entire starting unit because you're not going to put Deshaun Watson out there with the backup O-line. That's freaking asking him to get walloped. And we're talking about a dude who's just coming off not one, but two major injuries. Right? Especially that shoulder. Yeah. I don't need my quarterback getting hurt before week 1. Thank you very much. I mean, I like Jameis, but I'm not trying to see him play really any games this year, unless we're talking like week 18 when the playoff spots already been locked up. That's the only time I want to see Jameis out there. Or if we're kicking the crap out of a team so bad that they took Deshaun out and, Jameis is just out there in mop-up duty. Now, earlier today, I had a couple things pop up on the timeline. First, now this really sucks because I was really looking forward to watching this guy ball out this year in his rookie season. But, earlier this morning, Zach Jackson tweeted this out, and I quote, source, Browns rookie defensive tackle Michael Hall is expected to be arrested following a domestic dispute Monday night. Now, of course, I saw the details. He might be cooked, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he might be cooked. He's going down the Perion Winfrey road, and you don't want to go down that road. Now, if I'm Andrew Berry, I would honestly change the way I evaluate my defensive tackles when I draft them because, that's two now that have been arrested for something the last couple years. And of course, he had the whole Malik McDowell thing, but we didn't draft him. He was like a low risk, high reward type, and turns out, character concerns, of course. But that really sucks, man. We'll see what happens there. But a little while later, now this has really nothing to do with the Browns, but our opponent this week, the Vikings. Wow. As Schefter tweeted this out, Vikings QB J.J. McCarthy has a torn meniscus in his right knee, per head coach Kevin O'Connell. So we will not be seeing J.J. McCarthy this week, and we probably won't be seeing him for at least the first few weeks. Now, I don't know if they were going to start on week 1 at all because they have Sam Darnold, but now they have to use Sam Darnold. I mean, you look at their quarterback depth chart right now. Yeah, I mean, you have Nick Mullins and Jaren Hall behind Sam Darnold. Now, I don't know if Sam's going to play this week with the joint practices going on, but most likely we'll be facing Nick Mullins and Jaren Hall on Saturday afternoon. See how that goes. But now, with that being said, guys, let's get into the part of the video that you guys have been waiting for, the what to watch for. Now, of course, with us having joint practices, I have to start it off with a little thing talking about joint practices. My thing to watch during joint practices, the 1v1s, especially our receivers versus their secondary, and vice versa. And then our defense versus their offense, especially, up front. And you can even say vice versa too. But yeah, I'm really going to be watching our defense versus their offense, especially the secondary versus their receivers. Most notably, Denzel Ward versus Justin Jefferson. But I'm not going to sleep on MJ Emerson versus Jordan Addison. That's going to be a good one too. What about Greg Newsome? He's still out with that surgery he had in the offseason. I don't know when we're going to see him again. I'm really excited for the one-on-ones too. Now, my second thing to watch out for, Tyler Huntley versus DTR for QB number 3. Because what I saw against the Packers was DTR is really trying to get that QB3 spot. He looked good. He really did, considering, who he was playing with. But yeah, he looked good. Just like he did last year. Tyler Huntley didn't really show much. And then, of course, finally, this is another important part here. Offensive line play. Yeah. Offensive line has been shaky so far. Not their fault, though. I mean, we're missing 2 of our starting tackles because they both got hurt last year, and they're still coming back. But yeah, once we get Jed and Conklin back, I think we'll be fine. But until then, we got DeJuan Jones at right tackle, and then I've heard we've had Jermaine Ifedi and James Hudson at left tackle. Oh boy. Oh God. Oh, brother. This is going to be a problem all year, isn't it? But it's not. We let Bill Callahan leave, and this is what happens immediately after. Freaking offensive line looks kind of sus. Oh well, see what happens. Now, as far as my player to watch, with one of the rookies, wide receiver Jamari Thrash. I think this is the week where he might be able to take over one of the starting receiver spots. Most likely, maybe starting receiver 6 or something. I think this is the week where we really see him show out. I'm looking forward to it. And then my prediction. Again, this most likely is not going to have anything to do with the game. But AB and Kwesi, who of course is the Vikings GM now, plant the seeds for a trade later in the season. Now, I'm not going to specify what position, but I could see these two, maybe start talking about positions of need on either side, and maybe they plant the seeds for a trade before the trade deadline. You really never know. Especially for us, it would most likely be corner or offensive line. And for them, who really knows? But yeah, Kwesi, of course, was essentially the understudy for AB, in Cleveland. I mean, Kwesi was really good at certain things, and that's what got him the job in Minnesota. And this is one of the cool parts about essentially losing guys in the front office, because you get friends in high places, right? And just like with Andrew Berry and Howie Roseman, there's another link to potential trades. Makes things easier. I mean, heck, they already had that Zadarius Smith trade last year, so they do already have that good relationship, right? But yeah, we'll see how things go this week. I will most likely be doing a video after each day of joint practices, going over what happened, and might even have some videos. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully both teams get out of this week healthy. And of course, next week we have the final preseason game against the Seahawks late at night, 10 p.m. It is on NFL Network. And you already know I'll be streaming it. And it sounds like the starters will be playing a little bit, which will be fun. Because, I mean, you're not going to go into a big game against the Cowboys week 1 with your starters getting no reps at all in the preseason. They're probably going to get a quarter at most. We'll see. So, yeah, that's all I got for this one. As always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell. And I'll be live tonight for Guardians Cubs game 2 after a thrilling game last night. Guardians were up 8-3. Blue said lead, got the lead back. Clase went out there and did his business. And oh yeah, Matthew Boyd bump day. See how it goes. And then we got Alex Cobb tomorrow. You know, never in my life did I think Matthew Boyd and Alex Cobb would be pitching for my team. Yet here we are. Back-to-back days. Boyd and Cobb. See how it goes. But yeah, see you guys tonight for Guardians Cubs game 2. Yeah. I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Browns. And I'm out. Bye-bye. Yeah.